I request Dr. Somaraju to come onto the dais and declare this meeting open and say a few words of his thoughts about the challenges of interventional cardiology in our country. Dr. Somaraju, please.
Morning to all of you. Thank you, Dr. Srinivas Kumar. It's nice to be part of such a big undertaking. I must congratulate Dr. Srinivas, Dr. Kodali, Dr. Martin Leon, who couldn't be here because of the visa problems, for undertaking such an event. And they made it successful last year, but it looks as if it's going to be successful this time also, except I was told people come late and make it successful. They don't come in time. And I was just discussing with him as to what I should say while welcoming all of you. And all of us and all of you, particularly the younger generation, had done very well in making angioplasty available to most of the parts of the country and making it safe, effective, and also doing it efficiently. The developments in technology made it possible for an outcome of percutaneous coronary intervention to be predictable and safe, particularly with the advent of stents and newer technology. So in other words, the world of say interventional cardiology and percutaneous intervention, the technology and skills have made it flat. The learning curve is not that long. So that's good for patients. But looking at the challenges we face today in interventional cardiology, it looks as if there are no challenges because most of you are so comfortable doing an angioplasty and you get an easy outcome. The procedures don't last long and there are no table crashes, etc. I was just talking to my friend Dr. Upendra Kaul, and I believe he came last night from Delhi. And he frequently travels, unlike me, and he is still interested in all this. I was telling him, you came all over from Delhi, look at the audience, the number of people that attended. I was talking about the challenges. The challenges for interventional cardiology today are not from outside, it is from inside. It's within ourselves. Our inertia, as Srinivas Kumar put it, our lack of discipline and commitment and passion is going to be a most serious issue. And those three nice people, Srinivas, Dr. Kodali and Martin Leon, are they trying to educate people who are difficult to educate? Because see the attendance, and that bothers me actually. So having said that, I just want to highlight a few things related to cardiology in general and medicine in general and particularly interventional cardiology. The urgent need for medicine and interventional cardiology today is not technology, is not skills. It is the rebuilding of the trust which we lost over several years. It happened in other areas of medicine and particularly so in interventional cardiology. If you look at the newspapers and the stories of what is going around, I don't have to elaborate on that. Patients come to us with a fear of death or disability, and they are most vulnerable at the point of time when they come into the hospital, either to your clinic or somebody with an acute MI or unstable angina, and they have a fear of death or disability lifelong. And they are vulnerable emotionally, physically, in all forms. So they place their life in your hands. So that if that fully trusting that we give our best to them. But is this, when the trust is lessened, a different type of scenario will evolve into medicine. So this trusting relationship allowed us over a period of years what Professor Harrison 60 years ago wrote in his textbook, that enduring edifice of character, building of it. That was the most important thing is suggested for a physician. And a physician should ask of it anything less than that. So then, we are supposed to be our patient advocates. But looking at the present scenario, the medicine is not particularly different from politics. Medicine is politics and politics is medicine. So then in the process, if you look at, if you read newspapers, you will see now that between that patient and us, and that in between the trusting relationship, we allowed somebody else to come in, to interpose themselves between us and our patients. So those people are the self-seeking politician, the bureaucrat, the legal system, the device industry, insurance and third-party payers and whatnot, and hospital managements also. So they are there between us and our patients. We allowed them to come in the way between us and our patients, and we are working in that atmosphere. So the basis for all this is professional greed. I must say, unless we heal ourselves of this professional greed, these people who come between us and our patients will continue to make medicine what it is today and make it impossible for the patients and us both. Professional greed is of two kinds. One is money, but there is another type of greed. Going on trying to do more and more procedures, that is not a lesser greed, but the combination is deadly. Okay? Then, so I must say, unless we heal ourselves, unless we try to do something urgently to rebuild the trust, as somebody asked me to talk about what will happen to interventional cardiology 10 years from now, I won't know the other component of it, but I can tell you, in the futuristic cath lab, if some of us, many of you will be alive, to see that when you are doing a procedure in the cath lab, you will have a person, now you have a cardiologist and nurses, technologists and everybody and your colleagues are there. But futuristic cath lab will have an insurance agent, insurance representative, somebody from ACB, somebody from CBI to monitor what we do. And that will be the futuristic cath lab if you don't correct ourselves now. And then, as interventional cardiologists, we are supposed to be the elite in society, the elite even in the profession of medicine. And at 8:35, if this is the attendance, you don't have a cardiac problem, I know, but you will have psychological problems. So heal thyself of it. Go and see a psychiatrist or a counselor. So urgently I suggest to the management or conductors of this conference to make all these people, there should be a lecture by somebody not anything less than Martin Seligman, who wrote a wonderful book on positive psychology. So see a psychiatrist. It's urgent. Thank you.